At the end of the rainbow there's happiness, and to find it how often I've tried. But my life is a race, just a wild goose chase, and my dreams have all been denied. Why have I always been a failure? What could the reason be? I wonder if the world's to blame. I wonder if it could be me. I'm always chasing rainbows, watching clouds drifting by. My scenes are all just like my dreams, ending in the sky. Some fellows look and find the sunshine. I always look and find the rain. Some fellows make a winning sometime. I never even make a gain, believe me. I'm always chasing rainbows, waiting to find a little bluebird in vain.
Welcome, one and all, back to Kale's Tales. For this, to me, is a very special video to hammer home Pride Month. Speaking of which, happy Pride Month to all of you, from gay to bisexual to pan, trans, non-binary, every single flag for Pride, for June Pride Month. Hope I'm not saying Pride too much. If it helps for a support of this, and for that, you see the little, that beautiful little rainbow back there? It's a special gift from Mum. Well, I'm making this for, as if the cosplay and the other video wasn't a dead giveaway. I'm bi. I actually came out public on my Instagram back in September. I'm making this specifically as an original vid to share to tell my tale of how it took me so long to come out, and my lessons of going there. I grew up in the South Earl. I was raised in the Republican side, seeing the way my dad would act, would behave. We've all been there, haven't we? And I knew I didn't want to be like him, act like him. In my homeschool group, one day, my dad and I were at a Walmart, and one of my good friends, Dylan Lannister, and we saw him and his mom go by. I was around, I'm going to say 9 or 10 at the time, and we hugged each other, just because we're friends and we're so happy to see each other. After I walked off, my dad scolded the crap out of me, like, no, you don't do that. Like, what do you mean? Like, what's wrong? Oh, let's see, boys don't hug other boys. Like, and that always stuck with me, because clearly he was taught that when he was my age. And so it's something like, why is society putting this in my head? Like, why can't we just love who we want to love? And so, years go by, and by around, I'm going to say theater, I would see a lot of young, around when I was 16, I would still explore of who I love. I was mostly trying to make friends, as I was homeschooled, and theater helped so much with helped me learn the ropes of how social media works. There, it would help me gain some good friendships as well. And of course, it was already June at the time, 2018. At the time, I was already exploring if I liked cosplay for my first Comic Con or not. But anyway, one of my first, a year later, Has Been Hotel came out, which would, one of the things that would lead the way for indie animation in general, thanks to Vivian Medrano. And there was Angel Dust, voiced by Mug Kovac. That's where I learned at just 17 of who he was, and I had a small little crush on him at a young age. I learned, like, I guess I kept an inside of there was something I wanted to tell, but I felt like I wasn't ready yet at that time. So years go by. Well, a year later, my family and I, we move to North Carolina, where we would own a business for 2 years called Lineburgers, which is a steakhouse. I would be the head busser there and train 14 different people. Only 2 out of 14 of those stayed. Anyway, one of the hosts named Guillermo, he was around my age or a year younger than I, and he was very cute. He was very sweet, so feminine. He was really into nursing, and we still talk to this day. And I still regret how I never felt about him, and I still do regret it. And I knew it wouldn't feel right at all. It would just feel awkward and weird to tell him in text, And to this day, I still hope that he's in good health and doing well. By 2013, 2023, I look left and right. I wouldn't think about it too much. I would have one of the most weird Christmas Day, 2023. I have one of the most craziest, weirdest dreams. I guess I was in some office building. Who came crashing out was Michael Bublé, one of my favorite singers, and we both kissed, and woke up and felt like so awkward, so weird. May's like, brain, is there something you're trying to tell me? And it was all coming together. In my mind, that moment came to me. Like, I think I like both men and women, and like, I think do I love that? Do I? I kept questioning about it for a while. My old job where I used to work too, it made me, for 11 months as warehouse associate, I worked, one of my last days actually, one of my old coworkers, he came up to me, and I promise you, honest to God, this guy had no filter. He just could not give less of a crap what everyone thought about him. He'd say, his name was Braxton. He'd say, Braxton, Mississippi. They'd say, hey, Kale, I don't, gay people make me uncomfortable. Just right out of nowhere. Like, he just got no filter. Don't tell anyone, but I don't know. I just don't like it. And, like, just pretend like, probably smile like, okay, I'm not talking to you anymore. And that is one of the last times we ever spoke. Like, Jesus Christ. And, like, clearly his parents told him that. So, the last job I had, for 8 months, actually, was at this dog kennel for Australian Labradoodles, I was the only male coworker working there. No other guys. There was only me. I I felt a good belonging. Plus, I do love. Plus, they didn't shed. There was only that one specific breed. It was 4 minutes from the house. At the time, now hear me out. One of the things that inspired me to come out was I binge watched the complete series of Steven Universe, which I've talked about on the channel before. For most people, it's not their cup of tea, but it is one of the most greatest Cartoon Network shows ever, and the first one that's created by a woman, Rebecca Sugar. One of the episodes that stood out to me, besides the movie, which is peak cinema. Anyway, this is one of the called Townie episodes. It's called Sadie's Song, I believe. No, now you're probably thinking like, Kale, what are you talking about? Sadie's Song? Now, this had my eyes wide open for different reasons. It all starts with Steven. He goes into the donut shop and he hears his friend Sadie. You know, she has an awesome singing voice. Like, oh my God, Sadie, you're talented. Well, we should get you in a talent show. And then her mom finds out like, oh, whoa, you're a musical. You can sing great. My daughter. Oh, and she's just super enthusiastic. And and Sadie's just very anxious about it. She's not ready yet. She's not ready. And this is already season 2 already. Like, no, you sound just like my mom. You sound just like my mom. I'm not ready yet to be in front of a full stage of people. And so this when Steven go, you didn't want this. I did. And so Steven gets into Sadie's dress and sings in front of the whole town of Beach City. Why I mention this? Because they are cheering for him like, oh, it's Steven. Oh, that's okay. Oh, I knew it. And they're just rooting for him, cheering him on. Like, I was amazed. This to me was amazed because like they love him for who he is. This Steven's what 13, 14? I think he's 14. Anyway, and they love him for who he is no matter what. They don't care about who he's like. They're not. Where I come from, the South, they would either be bigotry. They'd throw fruit tomato off. They heck him off. They'd say offensive word if Steven sung where I came from. It's just hatred. But like I wish I was born and raised in Beach City. At least they love him no matter what. So that stood out. That to me, that kind of, in a good way, affected me. Like, well, if he can be passionate about who he is, then maybe I can too, right? So that boiled in my mind just for a bit, for a few months. Then September, I found out it was bought in 2024. That's when my good friend Cody, who's already came out as my good friend Cody Geloni came out as bi. Well, he did before, I believe, and that got me thinking like, I think I'm finally ready. I could give less of a shit about what people think of me, of who I am. I love both. I'm attracted to both men and women. I love who I love. And so on my Instagram, I posted, I feel so much better now. So after that, the first person I told was my younger sister Shay, who I trusted to moon and back. We both hugged, we cried, and that's when she told me that she was bi, and I didn't know that. And she's dating a femme guy who kind of looks like the dad from Coraline. If you've ever seen him, you'll may or may not agree. And so I told my mom, and she said, I knew already. Like, well, give it away. Well, first off, that painting made last year that I did for Pride Month. Second, Um, personal. It's the second. I already knew, especially the way you dressed. I. It doesn't take a genius. She loves her kids. She loves my sister and I for who we are, and has no fear in that. That should go to all parents. They, they'll love. They'll love. They love their children, no matter the person they become. They just don't want them to feel like nothing. They just want them. They don't want them to leave their lives. They love them and don't want them to feel like they're nothing, you know? And so I'm thankful to have a mom like her. And I hope your mom and dad are like that too. You know? She did give me a caution warning of be very careful because this is the South Mississippi. And to be careful who you share with. I did not put this on my Facebook because I didn't want to go that far. I don't need to share the site in God. Only place I put it was Instagram and here, of course. It's not like it was on and it's not like I was lying for a while, you know. And so a few, I'm gonna say like 3 months later, I would go to Cozumel and Costa Maya on vacation on the MSC cruises. I would attend the LGBTQ meetings where I would meet with my good friends, James C., who I still talk with on Insta. And I want to work on this animation someday. Probably my new friends and new inspirations. Uh, let's see, Anthony Burka and Joseph Millman, or Ant and Joe. They're queens from. They're in their 80s, paralyzed, straight from Florida, and he would share, like, you are absolutely lucky to have come out at the age you are now. And I felt like I should have came out a little bit younger, because when I see, he made a point, Ant made a point that I agree with him and Sir Ian McKellen, it's silly to still be in the closet. I feel so happy, proud whenever, if you're 14 or 15 and you come out at such a young age, then you have courage. You have pride. You're absolutely ready. You know, whether it's trans, non-binary, whichever it is, you're the person who you want to be. And I wish I had that courage like you did. With Anthony, he came out when he was, I believe, his late 30s, early 40s. But we would comp on that, and he'd say, tell me, oh honey, is it true that they are as bigoted and race as, and where you're from, South Mississippi, and like, you're not wrong. You are, yes, all true. It's stereotypical, not to get too deep into that, but to this day I still feel happy about watching that beautiful rainbow, and the young people that are very brave about who they are, and they're not afraid to. And hate is to me, that's a naughty word. And the fact that homophobia, that it's one of the most silliest things misleading things. You hate someone just because they love, the same sex for who they are. You can't just support them. Is that what they prefer? They should love who. If you love somebody, you should love exactly for who they are. It's best not to think about it too hard, you know? just you should love yourself, and with love, it's putting someone else's needs before yours, And I'm very happy for you guys, all of you, for embracing the real you. I hope you get to embrace the real you. And just so you know, I'm happy for you. You don't know me and I don't know you, but I hope with this vid, I hope it encourages the young folks out there to embrace the real them, to be themselves. Happy Pride Month, and you will be okay. Everything will be okay. Thank you.
It always seems more quiet in the dark. It always seems more stark. A silence grows under the moon. Constellations gone so soon. I used to think that I was bold. I used to think love would be fun, and now my stories have been told, except for one. As the stars start to align, I hope that you take it as a sign that you'll be okay. Everything will be okay. And if the 7 rings collapse, although the day could be my last, then you will be okay. When I'm gone, you'll be okay. And when creation goes to die, you can find me in the sky upon the lost way, and you will be okay.